Hi everybody. We're a little late tonight. Preston's fingernails still looking nice.
Yep.
And I have a new Down syndrome awareness manicure on. It's pretty exciting. So we promised you guys, I know it's so late, y'all are gonna have to watch the replay. I'm so sorry. So we had promised you guys we were gonna tonight, Preston's gonna read the email that he sent to our church. And hey everybody. And so
That's a holy haircut.
it's a holy haircut, that's right.
I've joined a monastery. Part of joining a monastery is you have to shave.
Yeah, he looks nice.
What am I reading first?
You want to read the poem or the email first?
Sure. I'll read the email first.
You wrote that first?
I have it. I don't know what I wrote first.
Okay. So this is where Preston was writing this email when we decided on Phoebe's middle name of Hope. So we were sitting on this couch actually when we decided on that, right here.
Right here.
So take it away, babe.
All right. So this is the email I wrote to inform the church the day we received the news on the ultrasound. So, dear Southern Hills family, today was our ultrasound day. Karna is just over 19 weeks. We are having a baby girl. We like the name Phoebe, meaning bright, shining one. God has blessed us with 5 children, and God has chosen to bless us with another child who will likely have Down syndrome. The ultrasound gave 5 indicators today that our baby girl will be a bright, shining one. Today has been a day of mixed emotions. God is preparing us and our children to care for this gift He gives. I know Phoebe will be loved by you all, and she will want for nothing. I would ask you to be sensitive in responses. There is much for us to learn, and we hope to live and walk openly before you all. The Lord is very near to us, and we are thankful for you. Life together, Preston and Karna.
Yeah, that was an important email for us.
February 25th, 2015.
Yeah, it was hard. So I know for me it was really hard to tell people in person, to like get the words out. So that was the beginning of sharing the news. And I do remember also that day, I don't think I talked about this, but as you guys know, I had mentioned before last week that my friend Sarah was praying for me specifically because I was struggling so much. So poor thing, she, I talked to her before I had the ultrasound, and then I didn't know what to say, because we were texting. Do you call? And I couldn't talk. I was crying, and then, it was hours, and I just didn't know what to say. And she just didn't hear from me and didn't hear from me. Poor Sarah, I'm so sorry. And so finally she said, hey, how did it go? Or something, she texted me. And I just thought, okay, how am I going to say this? And so I just said, I haven't texted, something to this effect. I haven't texted because I don't really know how to say this, but she has Down syndrome. I think I probably said first, it's a girl. We did find that out, and that she has Down syndrome. And so it just, I feel like, thank you guys for watching all of this. First of all, it's just our story, it's just our life. But I do feel like God uses everything to give grace to others. And so one of the things I would just say is, if you have somebody that comes into your life that is dealing with a diagnosis or something to do with their child like that you just understand, like, I'm hoping that our story will help other people have grace to be grace to others, if that makes sense. So, and then Preston wrote a poem that has kind of been, it just really articulated how we felt that day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead.
So here's the poem. The light reveals a holy hush, awareness of the painter's brush, another layer of our story, trembling before strokes of glory. Joining the artist in his design, he works the wonders of his mind. To us is given a shining one. Grace transforms more like the sun.
Yeah. So that idea of it being a holy hush was, I mean, that's what he wrote, and that was so helpful to me because I felt like it just really articulated how we felt that day, because it was like this.
Nothing to say.
I mean, it was humbling. And I remember thinking, I don't want people to think that I'm sad, because we weren't sad that Phoebe had Down syndrome necessarily. That wasn't really the feeling. There was a sorrow, right?
Yeah, I don't
know though. It's really hard to describe.
That's why the word hush means so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know what words to use.
Mm-hmm.
All I knew is that this changes everything. What our life looks like together, what our future looks like together, what ministry is going to look like, what our time will look like together. And then just the unknown. I think the hush has more to do with the unknown. What kind of problems might Phoebe have? Because there's a spectrum that, we just didn't know. So it was really, that was the best way I could describe it.
I mean, there was like a real, there were certainly the feelings, at least for me, of being very overwhelmed with the unknown, and feeling very overwhelmed that this was my 6th child, and already overwhelmed as a mom of 5, and knowing, and feeling like I didn't always give them everything that they needed.
And now they were going to get less and less of their mom, because Phoebe was going to be all-consuming.
At least that's what we thought. I mean, I don't know that she's been as all-consuming in that sense that we thought maybe she would be, but...
Yeah, we just didn't know.
We just didn't know, yeah. So there was certainly a sense of being overwhelmed, but I think the overwhelming feeling most of all, though, was just that like a holiness had descended on our family, that God had called us to something new, and we were grateful. I mean, there was a real sense of gratitude as well to the Lord in the midst of the tears.
One of the things that some people would say this, they would say, well, God only gives those kinds of children to certain kinds of parents, and I never really understood that. Like, what does that mean? So if you have an idea what that means, I'd like to hear that. I don't know. So we never really thought we were that great of parents to begin with. So we learned more about our own weaknesses, and
even more so now.
And
I'll share what another mama in my Down syndrome tribe has shared just about that idea of, God only he gives these children to special parents, and it's just not really true. And she said, you just love your child. Like, parents just love their kids, and that's something that I think we found. Yes, we talk about Phoebe having Down syndrome, but really in the day-to-day, we don't, every time we look at her, we don't think Down syndrome. She's just our kid. That is part of who she is, but she's just Phoebe. So, right?
Yeah.
So, we just enjoy her, and certainly her extra chromosome makes her part of who she is. I mean, that's her DNA, and
extra awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, I think probably for tonight that's all we'll talk about, and because again, we don't want these to be too long, but this week I plan on talking about kind of the process that we went through as Phoebe was baking in the oven. And just some of the things that God did in the midst of all of that. Some of the things I want to talk about is that I struggled with was, how do I pray? I want to talk about some of the fears that I really struggled with and how I dealt with that.
She should talk about how much research and reading she did and went way over the top with that, but
I'll talk about it. Yeah.
Talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, so those are the kind of things I'm going to talk about. And I also want to talk about, I think this week I'll get to all the ways that God just met us even preparing for her arrival. One thing I do want to say, I'll just close with this. When Preston sent out that letter, I got a lot of text messages from, our church family. And I'll just say the best message I got, I'm just going to call her out. She's not even on Facebook, but her husband and her daughter are. But Rebecca Hayes sent me a text and said, she will be a gift to all of us. And that was the best text message to me that I got. And it was just really helpful to me to think about how God was not just giving us Phoebe for us. She is his, and he is going to use her in big ways. So that was really helpful to me. So Myra, Johnny, if you watch this, please tell your mom and show her this so she can see how much I appreciated that. And I love you, Rebecca. So thanks you guys for watching tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow night, hopefully earlier. Life, 6 kids, trying to get everybody down. Anyway, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.